Hello, Merry Meet. So, as some of you know, my favorite bouncing rod or bobber I think is the English term for this dowsing tool, broke a while ago and I've been looking for a replacement and I got some very shitty ones from the American Dowsers Society and now I have gone to eBay and I've got somebody that I'm actually somewhat pleased with. So I thought I would do a review of those too. I don't remember the seller's username right now, but I will leave that in the description if you're interested in getting these bobbers. He sells various forms of dowsing tools. So let's have a look. See, these are the bobbers, and they are the simplest of simple designs. Basically, what they are is you have glass beads. In this case blue glass beads, that I just glue together to form a handle. And then this wire is almost like spiral. I think that's what it is, very tight wound spiral. And then at the top there's some more beads. And this actually works pretty well. So let me show you. Can I have a yes? No. Yes. No. Maybe. Thank you. So the good part about this is that I had a complaint earlier that the other ones that were hitting down very hard. This one don't. Let me see if I can adjust myself in the camera so I can show you. When I hit this, basically when I let this bob, it does not hurt to be hit by this. It will not bother my cat if she gets this bead clasped in her head. It doesn't hurt me either. So that's fine. I also think that this spiral type wire will last longer, because the problem with bobbers is that they have a tendency to break because you get material wear in the points where it bobs up and down, and eventually it will then break. I don't think you will get that issue with this, at least not as quickly. The problem with them, can't hold things today. The problem with them is that they sort of become a odd pendulum bobber hybrid, because this string is so soft. I mean, look here, I can bend it completely. So that, I mean, I could use this as a pendulum. So it's sort of some of the benefits you get with using a bobber instead of a pendulum vanishes. Because one of the things that, for example, is very useful with a bobber is that it's easier to walk and dowsing. For example, if you're going ghost hunting or looking for something, because a pendulum tends to be all over the place. But a bobber will have more. It's easier to get reliable readings with that, because it will not as much be all over the place. This one, however, will be, because it is bouncing all over the place. And as such, since it is so light and this is so soft, the responses when the rod responds is very slight. As you can see, while it definitely responds, the responses they're okay, but you don't get as definitive response as with something with a thicker wire. But I guess that's the damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. If you have a thicker wire, then it will eventually break. This will be more durable, but has that issue with, yeah, it's just being too light and too wriggly all over the place. So yeah, but I think it's decent. It's a decent piece. So how is it quality-wise? Well, like I said, this is basically the simplest design you could ever find. Basically what it's done is I've taken one edge and has just glued beads on there and glued beads on the other one. These beads here is also glued together so that they're firm, so that you'll have an actual handle. It would be extremely easy to make something like that for yourself. All you need is this kind of wire and some beads that will fit on it. So yeah. However, the gluing job is pretty well. I can't see any globs of glue anywhere. The beads are glass, and they're pretty. I haven't seen any globs of glue on the other one too. I have two, because they were sold as a 2-pack, and basically I go to visit my mother pretty often, and I have an altar in my room at her place, and I'm just starting to fill it up with some altar tools there as well. So I'm going to bring one of these bobbers there and keep it there with my little spare altar there. Please let me know in the comments section if you should happen to want a video about my altar at my mother's place. Anyway, like I said, it's a decent job, but very, very, very simple. These were not expensive. I think I paid about $6 for them. However, would I purchase the same again? No, I would probably just purchase the materials and make them. The reason why I bought them was so that I could have a closer look at the design, so that I could replicate it. And this is very, very, very easy to replicate. And I mean, this would actually make a great little crafting project for your covens. I know quite a few covens, they make things that I sell at local New Age and pagan festivals and such. This would make such a great project for that, and also make a great project if you have kids and want a spiritual / pagan crafting project. So yeah, all in all, I think these are good bobbers. They are a little bit too wriggly, and I would rather replace something with a little bit less bendy wire and have the device more stable. But all in all, these are pretty good. Are they worth the price asked? Well, you have to remember that I also have to pay shipping and so on. I think they were like $6 or $7 for the listing itself. So if you lived in the same nation as the seller, I think he's American, then $6-7 for this. I would say it's worth it, but just barely. This is an item, it's far, far better to make yourself. But for me, for basically seeing if this works and seeing how it's done so that I can replicate it and have spare bobbers and also experiment with using the same design but a little bit different kinds of wire and so on and so forth, yeah, it's worth it. So yeah, these are decent. And I mean, they are a mile better than the ones that I showed that I gotten from the American Dowsers Society. A mile! These are actually pretty decent. So yeah, that's my review of my new bobbers. I will leave information on the seller in the information box below. And yeah, have a great day and blessed be.